Facebook pages, and you can find me, or you can go to Facebook live events and dump in, or just enter the Wells Report, and it'll take you right to me. And like I said, I don't know what the sound's going to be like for a little while because I can't. Well, let me see. Let me see what it's going to be like here. I can't tell. Hang on a second. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can find out here. Oh, it sounds reasonably goodish. Okay, all right. So the sound's okay. So you can go to Facebook live events and you can find us. Like I said, this has been a really hard day. On the heels of finding out that the immunity deals granted Cheryl Mills and her buddy included the destruction of the laptops that the FBI was investigating after they were done, and the knowledge that they were not going to be able to look beyond January 31st, 2015, which was when the server became public. Knowledge of the server became public. There was information that came out today that a very much looked forward to announcement from WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was canceled today. The reason that WikiLeaks canceled their much anticipated announcement, according to NBC News, came to be known as something that had to do with security concerns. If you are not aware, Julian Assange is living in the London consulate of the country of Ecuador. He is avoiding being prosecuted in Sweden on sex charges. And when you find out just exactly what kind of security concerns that Julian Assange was worried about, it'll make you wonder about those charges in Sweden. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange is now planning to appear via video link tomorrow morning at WikiLeaks' 10th anniversary celebration in Berlin. He's a last-minute addition to the roster of festivities taking place in Germany. WikiLeaks used its Facebook page and Twitter to confirm that Assange would speak at the event, which takes place at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. According to WikiLeaks, the change of venue was made due to specific information. WikiLeaks did not specify further, but today's tweet followed several in which WikiLeaks alleged the Clinton camp wants to assassinate Julian Assange. Sources close to the event tell Heat Street that Assange may be planning to release some new information from his organization, information obtained about the U.S. Democrat Party, but Heat Street has yet to receive independent confirmation that Assange plans to dump information specifically on Hillary Clinton. Dribs and drabs of rumors and such have been circulating around the globe today. One saying that the information will finish Hillary Clinton. This announcement was to be made from the balcony of London's Ecuadorian embassy, where Assange had sought sanctuary for years. The cancellation was first reported by NBC News. According to NBC's Jesse Rodriguez, the announcement was canceled due to security concerns. There had been widespread anticipation that today's announcement, or tomorrow's announcement, would be Assange's long-promised document dump on Hillary Clinton. Assange appeared on Fox News last month, repeating his assertion that WikiLeaks has damaging documents on Clinton and suggested that WikiLeaks may soon release teasers. More than 3 weeks later, that release has yet to take place. Clinton's more fervent opponents have hoped for weeks the promised document dump would be an October surprise, damaging and revelatory for emails and the like, and inflict a mortal wound on her campaign. There is no evidence, however, that such damaging information even exists. It was only this summer that Assange's group leaked thousands of embarrassing emails from the Democrat National Committee, which showed their disdain for Bernie Sanders' insurgent campaign for the Democrat presidential nomination. The uproar over the disclosures forced DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz to resign in disgrace on the eve of the Democrat National Convention. Roger Stone, a political provocateur and bomb thrower, a fervent Donald Trump supporter, predicted that WikiLeaks revelation would doom Clinton's campaign. It's unclear if Stone was aware that WikiLeaks, according to NBC News, has canceled their agreement or their announcement for today. Assange and his supporters have long claimed that his personal safety is at risk due to the danger he supposedly represents to Clinton's presidential ambitions. Do you think that's true? 866-660-5759. Do you believe that Julian Assange's life is actually in danger because of the information purportedly that he has on Hillary Clinton? Yes or no, and why? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. So we are waiting for a video now of Julian Assange and a document dump supposedly with Hillary Clinton's name on it. Do you believe that Julian Assange's life is in danger because of the Clinton political machine? Do you believe that that's the case? 866-660-5759. Pete in Dallas, what do you think?
Absolutely, I believe that's the case, John.
Why?
I think that if you look at this whole situation, it's not that hard to figure out. Related to what you said earlier this evening, you know, the FBI, my father worked for the FBI and was very proud of that. He's long gone since then. He used to teach in Quantico. And, you know, the pride in the FBI was there forever. And if we look at history, it's only since the last administration that I believe the FBI has been taking control of. They have information and files on everyone. So there's a reason why these people in Congress won't do what they should do, and other people won't do what they should do. And I believe that the Democrats and Hillary and Obama have information on whomever they want to stop from speaking out. And just if it was as detrimental as it could be what this gentleman wants to release, then who knows what would happen in order to stop that.
866-660-5759. What say you? Is WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's life in danger specifically because of Hillary Clinton and the information that Assange may or may not have on her via WikiLeaks? 866-660-5759. Let me get to Shirley in Dallas. Shirley, is his life in danger? Yes or no, and why?
Absolutely, yes. I have researched the Clintons for over 20 years. This would make number 50 of people who either committed suicide or died suspectingly and were either friends or closely related, associated with the Clintons. I believe she will be trying to get him killed. Absolutely.
Thank you, Shirley. 866-660-5759. Mike, what do you think?
No, I don't think his life's in danger. I think I think all this is fabricated by Julian Assange. He likes all the attention. He likes to be the center of attention. Here's the thing. I mean, ultimately, if he wanted to release these documents and destroy Clinton, if he truly wanted to do that, he could have done it through another means. He could have done it through an anonymous means and just released all the documents without any threats. He's just trying to, stir up bigger fervor than needs be. If it's truly some information that's going to harm her, he needs to release it and just let the chips fall where they may.
Let me read something to you. Okay? Let me read something to you about this particular story. This is information. Let me see if I can give you an idea of what this is. This is an piece of information that comes out of WikiLeaks that you can take or leave as you see fit. Clinton's State Department was getting pressure from President Obama and his White House inner circle, as well as heads of state internationally, to try and cut off Assange's delivery of the cables. And if that effort failed, then to forge a strategy to minimize the administration's public embarrassment over the contents of those cables. Hence, Clinton's early morning November meeting of states' top brass, who floated various proposals to stop, slow, or spin the WikiLeaks contamination. That is when a frustrated Hillary Clinton, according to sources, at some point said this, quote, "Can't we just drone this guy?" Unquote. Thus offering a simple remedy to silence Assange and smother WikiLeaks via a planned military drone strike, according to State Department sources. State Department sources. The statement drew laughter from the room, which quickly died off when the secretary kept talking in a terse manner. Clinton said Assange, after all, was a relatively soft target, wandering around freely, thumbing his nose without any fear of reprisals from the United States. Can't we just drone this guy? What do you think now?
A lot of things that she says that are pretty stupid, and I think that she knows that when she says something like that, it's. I think she's tongue in cheek with it all. I mean, I don't like the Clintons any more than anybody else does. In fact, I don't see how that man served 2 terms as our president. But here's the thing. I mean, ultimately, yeah, I think there's that probably that arm of power in the government to where you can have somebody assassinated. I don't think Julian Assange is that big of a threat to her. I think she's got, other things that she needs to worry about instead of him.
866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. So, Julian Assange will appear via video link at the Berlin press conference Tuesday morning, theoretically 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Yes, apparently Hillary Clinton did indeed say, "Why can't we just drone this guy?" 866-660-5759. This is the Wells Report. Don't tell me you're stuck. You're stuck on whether or not you're going to switch from your big, bloated, liberal cell phone company to Patriot Mobile. Hi, I'm Jon-David Wells from the Wells Report. It's time for you to go ahead and do that. Stop worrying so much. I know you're saying to yourself, but what exactly again is this? These commercials fly by so fast. So here's the easy squeezy. Patriot Mobile makes it easy. Keep your number, pick your phone and your plan, and you're good to go. It's time for all of us conservatives everywhere to start supporting conservative causes. And that means with your cell phone too. Just like I said, all these great big bloated huge cell phone companies are liberal. They take your money and spend it on liberal political causes. How about this? How about work with a conservative cell phone company that gives 5% of your phone bill to you so that you can support a conservative cause you believe in? Here's what you do. Check out patriotmobile.com. Go ahead and decide that you want to switch, and then mention the promo code WELLS at checkout. That's WELLS at checkout. You'll waive activation fees for up to 2 lines at Patriot Mobile. Go to patriotmobile.com or call 1-800-A-PATRIOT. 1-800-272-8746. Mobilize conservatives. Let's get to Patriot Mobile. Tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at TexasGunPros.com. TexasGunPros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Join with 660 AM The Answer on October 7th. We'll be celebrating our military heroes at a benefit concert featuring Jeremy Camp. The brave men and women who serve our nation place their lives on the line for our freedom. When they come home, many are wounded and are unable to find jobs. Tragically, the suicide rate among veterans is staggering and often goes unmentioned and unreported. The Guardian for Heroes Foundation, which was established by Texas-owned Chris Kyle, feels it's time we band together to help these heroes. Their very own supporter, George Chamel, is going to raise awareness of the issues facing veterans by running entirely across America. That's right. He's literally running from San Diego to Ground Zero in New York in the next 60 days. Here's how you can help celebrate George's arrival in Texas. Grammy-nominated Jeremy Camp will be performing live at Elevate Life Church in Frisco on Friday, October 7th. All proceeds will benefit the Guardian for Heroes Foundation. Make a difference by getting your tickets now at itickets.com. That's itickets.com.
When you've overloaded your closets, stacked the attic sky high, and can't cram one more thing in the garage, it's time to call McGee Lane Self-Storage in Louisville and get some relief. They're to make your storage experience affordable, easy, safe, and secure. They offer gated access, state-of-the-art surveillance, Penske truck rental, 2 freight elevators, climate control, month-to-month leasing, and more. Call now for fall specials at 972-317-3112. Or for more information, visit McGeeLaneSelfStorage.com. You'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. That's McGeeLaneSelfStorage.com.
New York Times bestselling author Edward Klein has done it again.
My new book, Guilty as Sin, uncovers the real story behind Hillary Clinton's email scandals and how she's stayed one step ahead of the law, at least for now. For the real story on what the FBI found on Clinton's email server and what tricks Bill and Hillary have up their sleeve next, read Guilty as Sin.
Guilty as Sin by Edward Klein. Available October 4th at Amazon and bookstores everywhere.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
Last August, liberal commentator Bob Beckel suggested in a TV appearance that Assange should be murdered. This was on Fox News, Fox Business, in fact. He proclaimed that someone should, quote, shoot the son of a bitch, unquote. Assange has also hinted publicly that low-level DNC staffer Seth Rich, who was murdered this summer in Washington, D.C., had been the source for WikiLeaks document dump on the DNC, and that Rich's alleged role in the leaks was linked to his death. Naturally, there is no evidence linking Rich to the leak. No evidence that his murder was anything more than a botched robbery. Nothing was taken. He was shot in the back. 866-660-5759. Do you think that Julian Assange's life could actually be in danger? 866-660-5759. Let me get to Bill in Fort Worth, Texas. Bill, hi.
Yeah, I believe his life is in danger, given the fact of, like one of your previous callers said, all the people around the Clintons who mysteriously died either by suicide or accident. And given the fact that she was talking about drowning him, and given the fact that it won't be the first time that our government has drowned one of its own citizens without due process.
Yeah, that is something that we do need to keep in mind. Anwar al-Awlaki, the decision by President Obama to kill Anwar al-Awlaki, an American citizen closely tied to terrorism, was something that I thought was a huge mistake then. And then I found out that he also killed the guy's son, Abdul Rahman al-Awlaki, some 2 weeks later in another drone strike. And the son had nothing to do with the father's terrorist ties.
Exactly.
At least so the story goes. So why did he get droned? And is it a very sad day in the United States of America when the word droned means the government kills you with a drone strike? I never thought I'd ever hear that verb in this country. Daniel in Dallas, welcome to the Wells Report. Is Julian Assange in danger?
Definitely. He's been in danger for some time. I believe his life will continue to be in danger, literally as long as he's alive. He's a threat to the establishment, but more importantly, he has intel that will compromise many people, not just the Clintons. So I am positive, having done several tours in Iraq as a staff NCO retired from the United States Army, I can tell you right now, he is the primary target.
God bless you. Thank you very much for your service in this great nation. I appreciate it. I sincerely do, my friend. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Coming up next, more history from 2010. Assange was by then a household name, but he was also a household name on Capitol Hill. That piece of information I read to you moments ago was from that time period. We'll flesh that out and give you more information on that piece of intelligence and more as we continue. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. We'll be back with more in just a minute.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy here, host of the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, sponsored by DallasBoatsForSale.com. Let me break it down for you. We talk about boats and boating, boat ramps, marinas, lakes and water levels, boat sales, sailboats, sailing, anchoring, sinking, grounding, buying, selling, and enjoying the fun out on the water. You picking up what I'm putting down? If it floats, we talk about it every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-400-0301. Strict limit of 1 per household.
I used to be plagued by pot belly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. If your belly flattening results are too dramatic, simply reduce use to every other day. Think you might be bloated? See how much flatter New Biotics makes your belly. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-400-0301. That's 1-800-400-0301. 1-800-400-0301.
Message and data rates may apply.
When did American men get so soft? Today's average red-blooded American man has less testosterone than his father, and his father has less testosterone than his father. Before we turn into a country of powder puffs, Force Factor is launching the Man Up America event. We want to send every man in America a complimentary bottle of the breakout supplement taking GNC by storm. Test X 180 Ignite, loaded with free testosterone-boosting manliness. Get your complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321. Test X180 Ignite raises levels of free testosterone in your body to help build lean muscle during workouts. Plus, it helps incinerate fat, fuel explosive sexual desire, and improve performance. Now you can continue to feel like the real men that made this country great. Do yourself a favor. Do America a favor. Text MAN to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle. That's a complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321.
Did you know that mammograms actually increase your cancer risk? Living Springs Natural Health offers a thermal scan that can detect cancer cells 4 years earlier than a mammogram. The average cost of a mammogram is $597. Breast thermography costs $195, is non-invasive, and has no compression, radiation, pain, or increased cancer risks. This FDA-approved thermal camera can also identify areas of stress in the sinuses, TMJ joints, thyroid, spleen, lymph system, liver, digestive system, breasts, back, and neck. If you suffer from joint pain, Living Springs Natural Health can determine the root cause of the pain and help the body heal itself with nutrition, supplements if needed, and natural therapies. Julie Clowers and Monica Janes are both board-certified naturopathic doctors. Call them today at 972-722-4668. That's 972-722-4668. Or learn more at livingspringsnaturalhealth.com.
The last thing I wanted to inherit from my mom was her varicose and spider veins. Then it happened. Embarrassing, bulgy, knotty-looking legs. Not to mention the pain and swelling. I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I went to Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses again.
Whether it's a family gathering or office formal, make sure your legs look and feel their best this fall. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Julian Assange has promised a press conference in the wee hours of this morning, or tomorrow morning, actually. And perhaps this information might have something to do with Hillary Clinton. He was going to do it earlier. He was going to do it today, but decided not to because of security concerns. I read a memo from a meeting that happened November of 2010. Let me give you a little more information about that. In 2010, in November, Assange was a household name, especially on Capitol Hill, and in the State Department alone, his prowess of releasing otherwise secret, damning military documents and emails were filling conference rooms at the State Department and the White House with policy wonks and bureaucrats desperately seeking to squelch WikiLeaks. At the State Department, meeting after meeting was conducted about how Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and her inner circle were going to squash Assange and WikiLeaks' latest planned document dump on the United States. Deemed Cablegate, Assange planned to release confidential cables or communications unveiling damaging internal conversations between the State Department personnel and foreign assets and allies. Prodded by the looming Cablegate, Clinton met with staff Tuesday, November 23rd, 2010. Shortly after 8 a.m. on Mahogany Road at the State Department to help attempt to formulate a strategy to avert Assange's plans to release an enormous batch of 250,000 secret cables, dating from 1966 to 2010. Assange had professed for months to rain the internal cables down on Clinton and President Obama. The collective fear was the context of the secret cables would hamper U.S. intelligence gathering and compromise private correspondences and intelligence shared with foreign governments and opposition leaders. Splashing such juicy details on television news shows, on the front pages of major newspapers in the country, was great for the media, but lousy for intelligence and foreign policy. Many, including Clinton and her elected boss, expressed fear these revelations would embarrass and expose intelligence allies of the U.S. and set America's already fragile foreign policy back decades. Clinton's State Department was getting pressure from President Obama and the White House inner circle, as well as heads of state internationally, to try to cut off Assange's delivery of the cables. And if that effort failed, then to forge a strategy to minimize the administration's public embarrassment over the contents. Hence, Clinton's early morning November meeting of state's top brass who floated various proposals to stop, slow, or spin the WikiLeaks contamination. That's when suddenly Julian Assange had charges of rape being leveled on him from two women in Sweden. And that's when a frustrated Clinton, one source said, at some point said this, quote, "Can we just drone this guy?" Unquote. Offering a simple remedy to silence Assange and smother WikiLeaks via a planned military drone strike. This, according to State Department sources. The statement drew laughter from the room, which quickly died off when the secretary kept talking tersely. She said Assange, after all, was a relatively soft target, walking around freely, thumbing his nose without any fear of reprisals from the U.S. Clinton was upset about Assange's previous 2010 records releases, divulging secret U.S. documents about the war in Afghanistan and the war in Iraq. At the time in 2010, Assange was relatively free, not living cloistered in the Embassy of Ecuador in London. Prior to 2010, Assange focused WikiLeaks efforts on countries outside the United States. But now under Clinton and Obama, Assange was hammering America with an unparalleled third sweeping WikiLeaks document dump in 5 months. Clinton was fuming as each State Department cable dispatched during the Obama administration was signed by her. Stephanie in Phoenix, Arizona, thanks for joining us from Arizona. How'd you find us?
I'm actually listening to you on my iPod.
Yes.
Yes.
How did you find us?
I just pulled you up. It's on the internet on my
Okay.
my data. You're awesome, I tell you. Some of these other hosts out here, they're okay, but they're kind of boring me. I was falling asleep at the wheel, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, this show, especially tonight, sure as hell isn't boring.
No, I knew, but I had also wanted to call and tell you that, the other hosts from in California and where I was earlier today, and then now in Arizona as I got here this evening, that's all they're talking about is this ordeal and all the ramifications of what are the Clintons truly hiding and what are their true secrets and intentions. And, a lot of the other talk show hosts are scratching their head on this one too. And they have a feeling that, the Clintons are nothing, no more than a modern day KGB action team here in our, good old America or USA. And, Americans need to be very concerned about the Clintons because, they're all about themselves and they're a few select, few in power.
Yeah. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. 866-660-5759. A little bit of history when it comes to Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. Clinton and other top administration officials knew the compromising materials warehoused in the Cablegate stash would provide critics and foreign enemies with a treasure trove of counterintelligence. Bureaucratic fears about the Cablegate release ultimately proved to be well-founded by Clinton, her inner circle, and her boss in the White House. The revelations of these U.S. diplomat-generated correspondences were damaging on many levels, and among the thousands of examples included one cable detailing a discussion between Yemeni President Ali Abdullah Saleh and General David H. Petraeus, where Saleh indicates he would cover up and accept blame for America's missile strikes against al-Qaeda in Yemen. U.S. diplomats offered various countries a meeting with President Obama and untold millions of dollars if these countries agreed to accept detainees from the Guantanamo Bay prison. U.S. diplomats engaged in low-level spying by collecting foreign diplomats' personal information, including credit card numbers, to track their global travel itineraries. The cables also exposed the sensitive behind-the-scenes diplomacy involved in winning sanctions against Iran. The cables exposed U.S. officials' plans to extract highly enriched uranium from Pakistan. Intelligence was divulged on North Korea's ties to Tehran's weaponry program, how it helped Iran obtain missiles that could strike Moscow and Western European cities. Documents were released naming Arab officials and their concerns and complaints about Iran's nuclear program. One such leak detailed King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia pleading with the United States to cut off the head of the snake, meaning Iran's nuclear program. In cables from U.S. diplomats, Russian Prime Minister Vladimir Putin is described as an alpha dog. Afghan President Hamid Karzai, confidential U.S. diplomat correspondence has alleged, was driven by paranoia. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, recently quoted by Hillary Clinton as the world leader she most admires, is someone who avoids risk and is rarely creative. Muammar Gaddafi spends much time in public with a voluptuous blonde. She's apparently a Ukrainian nurse. Silvio Berlusconi, the Italian prime minister, appears increasingly to be the mouthpiece of Putin in Europe after receiving lavish gifts, including large energy contracts thanks to negotiations of a shadowy, Russian-speaking Italian intermediary. Following Clinton's alleged drone proposal, another controversial remedy was floated to place a reward or bounty for Assange capture and extradition to the U.S. Numbers were discussed in the realm of $10 million. A State Department source described the staff meeting as bizarre. 1 minute, staffers were inquiring about the secretary's blue and black checkered neck sweater. The next minute, the room was discussing the legalities of a drone strike on Assange and financial bounties. Immediately following the conclusion of the wild brainstorming session, one of Clinton's top aides, State Department Director of Policy Planning Anne-Marie Slaughter, penned an email to Clinton, Chief of Staff Cheryl Mills, and aides Huma Abedin and Jacob Sullivan, entitled An SP Memo on Possible Legal and Non-Legal Strategy re-WikiLeaks. Non-legal strategies. How did that phrasing make it into an official State Department email subject line dealing with solving WikiLeaks and Assange? Why would the Secretary of State and her inner circle be discussing any non-legal strategies for anything whatsoever against anyone? Shouldn't all the strategies discussed by the country's top diplomat be strictly legal only? Is the email a smoking gun to confirm that Clinton was actually serious about pursuing an obvious non-legal strategy to allegedly assassinate Assange? Numerous attempts were made to try and interview and decipher Slaughter's choice of email wording. However, she could not be reached for comment. What did she say? Well, I just happen to have the email. Following this morning's meeting, I activated my 4 legal eagles on the SP staff: Peter Harrell, Jen Harris, Bill Burke White, and Catherine Powell. That includes 2 law profs and 2 Yale Law grads who could certainly be law profs. They in turn reached out to people at the Berkman Center at Harvard and other experts working together with Alex Ross. Alec had been particularly useful in terms not only of his knowledge, but also his sensitivity to how everything we might try to do could impact our own internet freedom agenda. The result is the attached memo, which has one interesting legal approach, and I think some very good suggestions about how to handle our public diplomacy. Anne-Marie. The email contained an attached document called SP WikiLeaks Doc Final 1123.10. That attachment portion of Slaughter's non-legal strategies email is yet to be recovered by federal investigators and House committee investigators probing Clinton's email practices while at state. Even WikiLeaks does not have the document. Slaughter, however, shed some light on the attachment. The result is the attached memo, which has one interesting legal approach, and I think some very good suggestions about how to handle our public diplomacy. But did it include details on non-legal strategies? Sources confirm Clinton took the email and attachment with her to the White House for an afternoon meeting with the Secretary of Defense, Bob Gates, and National Security Advisor, Tom Donilon. This prior to an evening meeting at the White House. President Obama, sources said, did not attend the early meeting with Gates as he was traveling with Vice President Joe Biden. President Obama did attend the second meeting, however, and WikiLeaks and Assange's planned release of secret cables were discussed at length. Attending this meeting were President Obama, Clinton, Gates, Donilon, Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, Deputy Secretary of State James Steinberg. Under Secretary of Defense for Public Policy Michelle Flournoy, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Admiral Mike Mullen, Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General James Cartwright, and a half dozen or more various policy aides. If you're wondering what Clinton had to say about this to the FBI 302 report from Clinton's email investigation specified that Clinton had many discussions related to nominating drone strikes on individuals. Clinton could not recall a specific process for nominating a target for a drone strike and recalled much debate pertaining to the concurrent process. Clinton knew there was a role for DoD, state, and CIA, but could not provide specifics as to what it was. Due to a disagreement between these agencies, Clinton recalled having many discussions related to nominating an individual for a drone strike. When Clinton exchanged classified information pertaining to the drone program internally at state, was in her office or on a secure call. When Clinton exchanged classified information pertaining to the drone program externally, it was at the White House. Clinton never had a concern with how Clinton classified information pertaining to the drone program was handled. What will Assange give us tomorrow? I do not know. Will it be mortally damaging to Hillary Clinton? Again, I do not know. But there's an even more difficult question to ask about that. And I'll tell you what that is in just a moment. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer.
We all know life can get crazy and you're not always near a radio. But one thing is for sure, your phone goes everywhere with you. And now we can too. Download the 660 AM The Answer app to your phone and listen live wherever you go. If you miss any of the Mark Davis Show or the Wells Report, you can catch up whenever, wherever. Plus, dial the 660 AM The Answer studio directly from the app. And it's free. We make it easy to stay connected. Download our app now. 660 AM The Answer.
This is Albert Mohler for townhall.com. In the 2016 presidential election, political analysts are increasingly interested in how the nuns will vote in this election. We're not talking about Catholic nuns. We're talking about the growing percentage of Americans who tell pollsters that they have no religious affiliation whatsoever. Although this group is indeed growing as a voting bloc, they aren't actually voting. The reason why many of the unaffiliated, the nuns, are unlikely to vote is because they seem to hold no really strong convictions that might animate them to vote one way or the other. They're less likely to show up not only in church, by definition, but also in other kinds of civic associations. They aren't joiners. They don't have the deep kinds of beliefs that also lead to common social bonds that would reinforce not only their worldview and convictions, but whether or not they hold those convictions deeply enough to actually get out and do something about them, including getting out to vote. I'm Albert Mohler.
Learn more at townhallreview.com. Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, then listen to Mark.
I had fantastic results with the Andro 400 Max. Probably lost 35 pounds, and more impressive than that was the inches I lost off of my belly and my waist. And the increased energy is fantastic. I'll be totally honest, I tried a different product, and I wasn't happy with the different product. You guys are considerably cheaper than the other brand, and I can really feel the difference.
Andro 400 Max, the extra strength, all natural testosterone booster. The safe, easy, and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Feel and look like a new man. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my foundation company, Abacus Foundation Repair. The cooler temperatures of fall can bring weather changes that can bring changes to the soil around your house. And man, that can mean cracks in the sheetrock doors that are sticking. If you even think you got a foundation problem, please call the right company first. And that's Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000. They will map your house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes. Maybe it's a plumbing issue or something, so the problem doesn't recur. If you don't need a new foundation or any kind of new pilings, they'll tell you. But if you do, you've called the right people. $1,000 off from Abacus, $1,000 off any job of 10 pilings or more. Not just any pilings, Millennium Composite Pilings, the only company that has them for the strongest foundation solution. You will be taken care of. You will be happy. You did call the right company. 972-406-9000, 972-406-9000, or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
New York Times bestselling author Edward Klein has done it again.
My new book, Guilty as Sin, uncovers the real story behind Hillary Clinton's email scandals and how she's stayed one step ahead of the law, at least for now. For the real story on what the FBI found on Clinton's email server and what tricks Bill and Hillary have up their sleeve next, read Guilty as Sin.
Guilty as Sin by Edward Klein. Available October 4th at Amazon and bookstores everywhere.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. And so, here we are. What will happen tomorrow? What will Julian Assange share with us? Will it be believable? Is there any truth to the fact that he felt that his security was compromised today? Do you believe the possibility that Julian Assange could indeed be in danger? Do you believe the statement that purports to say that Hillary just asked, why can't we just drone this guy? Could you hear Hillary Clinton saying that? 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. There is something else. If Hillary Clinton is victimized, shall we say, by information from Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, should we believe it? Think about that one. I'll ask you again in just a few moments. This is the Wells Report.
Join with 660 AM The Answer on October 7th. We'll be celebrating our military heroes at a benefit concert featuring Jeremy Camp. The brave men and women who serve our nation place their lives on the line for our freedom. When they come home, many are wounded and are unable to find jobs. Tragically, the suicide rate among veterans is staggering and often goes unmentioned and unreported. The Guardian for Heroes Foundation, which was established by Texas-owned Chris Kyle, feels it's time we band together to help these heroes. Their very own supporter, George Chamel, is going to raise awareness of the issues facing veterans by running entirely across America. That's right. He's literally running from San Diego to Ground Zero in New York in the next 60 days. Here's how you can help celebrate George's arrival in Texas. Grammy-nominated Jeremy Camp will be performing live at Elevate Life Church in Frisco on Friday, October 7th. All proceeds will benefit the Guardian for Heroes Foundation. Make a difference by getting your tickets now at itickets.com. That's itickets.com.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet. One of the reasons it's such a joy to hang out with these folks is they have such great stories of helping people who have tried other things that did not work. And getting out of foot pain is a thing of joy to behold. Ask them at Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, the 3 locations of Good Feet, or go to goodfeetdfw.com. Listen, as one of the good folks at Good Feet talks about what it's like to help people, to watch them come in for a solution that actually works.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue. They're searching, they're grasping at straws because they've been trying other products and they've bought something that they thought was going to help solve their problem, and it didn't.
The good people of Good Feet with solutions that are real, not the plasticky gel, one-size-fits-most nonsense. Nope, but the sizes, the styles for men, for women. Get out of pain today. That foot pain can become back pain, hip pain, leg pain. GoodFeetDFW.com, Plano, Fort Worth, or Southlake. GoodFeetDFW.com. Check them out today.
You might not know it, but fall is the perfect time to feed your lawn. So this football season, you can spend halftime eating some lukewarm bean dip, or you can head outside and run some lawn feeding routes using Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard Fall Lawn Food. The conditions are ideal for grass to grow deep roots, so your lawn will be stronger come spring. So forget the room temperature dip. Get out there and pick up your bag today. Fall time is yard time with Scott's.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. Help's on the way for Haiti and Jamaica. A U.S. agency sending $400 million for the two countries, hoping to prevent a humanitarian disaster from Hurricane Matthew. Haiti's in particular danger.
And we are expecting a direct impact. And then eastern portions of Cuba and Jamaica still under hurricane warnings. And then Bahamas has to deal with this.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean, the money's coming from the U.S. Agency for International Development. And investigators rule out most of the theories on how Prince got the opioids that killed him.
Narrowing their focus to 2 main questions: whether doctors illegally prescribed opioids meant for the pop star, and whether the fentanyl that killed Prince came from a black market source.
Fox's Michelle Polino, the 57-year-old musician, died from an overdose in April. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head dealing with monthly payments, there's a powerful secret that credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $5,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to virtually eliminate your credit card debt and make your monthly payment affordable. To see how much you could save, call now, 1-800-700-5516. Don't declare bankruptcy. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. Credit Associates. Live better debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-700-5516. That's 1-800-700-5516.
If you're a business owner,
I want you to imagine standing on home plate in front of a sold-out crowd of 50,000 raving fans at a professional baseball game. They give you the microphone and you have 60 seconds to tell the crowd why they should do business with you. Out of 50,000 people, do you think you might get some new customers? Sure you would. Now imagine you could do that in front of 4 sold-out baseball games. That's 200,000 people. Did you know that's how many people listen to 660 AM The Answer every week? And you have the opportunity to stand in front of the 660 AM The Answer microphone and get 60 seconds to tell our raving fans all about your business. Do you think you'd get new customers if you did that? You bet. The businesses you hear on 660 AM The Answer are knocking it out of the park with new customers. If you're open to seeing how much it costs to advertise your business on 660 AM The Answer, send an email request to advertise@ksky.com. That's advertise@ksky.com. Let's play ball.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online education, few can deliver on the promise of a quality education with such flexibility, and even fewer can actually point to a graduate of their online program like my friend Morgan from Nashville.
I did it. I actually got my degree from Liberty University. 2 degrees, actually. Not only has this process taught me self-discipline, I've also learned that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. And I did it all online. I did it, and you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University online.
I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. Mortgage rates have dropped again. In fact, recently, mortgage rates have dropped to the second lowest level in history. Now is the time for you to take advantage of these historically low rates and save serious money every month by refinancing your mortgage. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is all the way down to 3.5%. APR 3.57%. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN to see how far we can lower your mortgage payment. For 6 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 3rd year, they also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. It's a great time to refinance with Quicken Loans and save hundreds every month. This ultra-low rate of 3.5% won't last long. So call 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. You're a target of the most powerful collection agency in the world, and you need representation you can trust. Don't get scammed by imitators and telemarketers' high-pressure tactics. At Wall & Associates, they develop trust with their clients through a free face-to-face consultation. They've saved their clients over $129 million in the past 5 years. Call 1-800-983-5313 now for your free face-to-face consultation. Ignoring your tax problem will only make it worse. Call 1-800-983-5313 to get immediate help. With over 30 years of experience, Wall & Associates has helped thousands of taxpayers, and they can help you. Call now, 1-800-983-5313, 800-983-5313, wallandassociates.net.
And now, insurance-minded speeches from Geico.
Let's talk about power. To illustrate this, allow me to tell you a story about how I moved a tow truck 25 miles using only my index finger. I was stranded with a flat tire. I opened the Geico app. Then, with a few taps of my finger, I beckoned emergency roadside assistance and a tow truck to my car. I invite you all to unleash the full potential of your fingertips with the Geico app. Thank you.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. So Donald Trump decides he's going to run for the presidency. He is an outsider. He is not experienced. He has never run for elective office ever. Does he know anything about politics at the presidential election level? No. Is he smart? Yeah. Is he a quick learner? Yes, mostly. But there are certain things that are part of the delicate dance that political candidates engage in with the mainstream media that Donald Trump blew away as if there were so much cannon fodder. One of them is not cannon fodder. As a matter of fact, one of them is the primary issue hurting him in his quest for the presidency today. When Donald Trump made the decision to not immediately release his tax returns, I said, that's a mistake. Every time his tax returns have come up, I have either said, boy, that's a mistake, or in the case of where we find ourselves now, that's a self-inflicted wound. And then we found out that the reason he wasn't going to release his tax returns is because he was under audit by the IRS. And to me, it became obvious. It became obvious why Donald Trump would not release his taxes. The reason is this. If he releases his taxes before the audit is complete by the IRS, and the IRS signs off that these returns are indeed correct and acceptable to the agency, and that's all put to bed, then what would happen today would certainly happen with all of his taxes up to the current day. In other words, people who are very much interested in Hillary Clinton being elected as the next president of the United States would go over those tax returns and find anything that could be turned into a political liability and then turn it into a political liability. Would it actually be true? No. As a matter of fact, the things said about the 1995 tax return that became public today have been mostly, gosh, these guys really know their way around the tax code, which would make sense. And so, what do we have? We have the man who wants to be the president of the United States refusing to release his tax returns until the audit is declared over by the IRS. Who owns the IRS? The Obama administration. Is there any reason for the IRS to move quickly when it comes to going ahead and signing off on this investigation? No, it doesn't. Why in heaven's name would the IRS sign off on an audit of Donald Trump when Donald Trump has made it clear that he would not discuss his taxes in public until the audit was over? Meanwhile, what happened in the last few days? Hillary went into full-time speculation mode. Well, Why wouldn't he want to release his taxes? Because obviously the default, hey, I'm under audit by the IRS and I'm not going to be stupid enough to put my taxes into the public domain without the IRS signing off that the audit's okay. Since that's obviously a lie, it must be something else. It must be that he's a lousy businessman and he's using his IRS, and all of this financial information that he released was all a lie. And therefore, the only real way of determining truth would be his tax returns, which the IRS refuses to sign off on because they work for the President of the United States. And after the Lois Lerner mess, we know just exactly how the IRS feels about anyone with a conservative label or even a conservative tendency getting through the IRS without trouble from that agency, don't we? But was it a mistake? Yeah. Who made it? Donald Trump. What was his mistake? His mistake should have been what he should have said at the beginning was, as soon as the IRS finishes the audit on my taxes, I'll release them to you. That puts pressure on the IRS to finish the audit. And by the way, forces the IRS to say, we're going to take our time with this audit. That means that whenever somebody brings it up, Donald Trump can say, you'll have to ask the IRS. They're taking their time, probably because they don't want you to see my taxes. I'm going to release them as soon as the IRS is finished. And I would even say that the reason that I am waiting is because I'm not going to put these taxes out in the public domain. Look at what happened with my 1995 return, which, by the way, should have never been published. In fact, according to the Washington Post, the New York Times executive editor said during a visit to Harvard in September he would risk going to jail to publish Donald Trump's tax returns. He made good on his word last Saturday night when the Times published Trump's tax documents from 1995, which show the Republican presidential nominee claiming losses of $916 million that year, enough to avoid paying federal income taxes for as many as 18 years. Which, by the way, would be through 2013. In the meantime, Hillary is making much sport of the fact that Donald Trump hasn't paid any federal income taxes in years, probably ever. Donald Trump has been audited by the IRS for years in a row. This is another year. Every year that the IRS signs off on Donald Trump's taxes is another reason why Hillary has nothing to say. But because the mainstream media doesn't report the news, except, of course, when it comes to the Washington Post, and for reasons I don't know why they reported this, it's illegal for the New York Times to have done what it did. It's illegal. But not when you're trying to get Hillary Clinton elected, in which case there's another law that we're going to set aside for the sake of this woman. What does she bring to the United States? And of course, because Hillary Clinton decided, oh, goodness gracious, it's got to be a scheme. Donald Trump is lying as always. He's a liar. Well, of course, I'm a liar too because, well, even the FBI director says it. But let's not dwell on that. That's nothing there. Just move on. Donald Trump is only guilty of mishandling this. By the way, in case you're wondering, this scheme, the leaked 1995 Trump tax returns said that, boy, he lost almost $1 billion, and that you could use that as a huge net operating loss, and that enabled him to legally pay no taxes for years. According to Zero Hedge, we now discover that Hillary Rodham Clinton utilized a $700,000 loss to avoid paying taxes in 2015. Oh. And so the New York Times is in legal trouble for publishing Trump's 1995 taxes. Taxes that were gone through with a fine-tooth comb, trying to find something wrong, something to nail Donald Trump on. Got to find something. This is so important that the New York Times would risk breaking the law to come up with. And the speculation, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. What we know and don't know about Trump's taxes. Unlike all the major party nominees for president over the last 40 years, Donald Trump has declined to release any of his income tax returns. That doesn't mean we don't know anything about his taxes, because numerous reports this year have revealed that some of his business dealings and tax payments. And here's what we know so far and what we're still looking for. Has Trump released any tax information? No. He says he'll release his taxes once the IRS is done auditing his current return. The IRS says, of course, we don't care whether you release your taxes in the middle of an audit. Yeah, as if somebody would be stupid enough to do that. What else would the tax returns tell you? There are three things of significant interest. First, since Trump talks a lot about how successful he's been in business, a tax form would show how much money he's actually earned every year. Second, tax forms would show how much Trump gave to charity, which is a big deal because the Washington Post says he doesn't give as much as he said he has. And third, the tax forms would show how much taxes he paid, which would be interesting given the mounting evidence that he may not have paid federal income taxes at all. You do realize, of course, that it's okay to not pay federal income tax, as long as you can prove that there's a reason why you didn't. It's perfectly legal, but not in the world of Hillary Clinton or the mainstream media, where any cost should be paid to embarrass Donald Trump. Now, if you disagree with me, get on the phone. Tell me why. I can hardly wait to hear this. Next on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Want to see what you'd look like if you had a flatter belly? Now's your chance, because for a limited time, we're giving away free trials of Somabiotics, the new discovery that flattens bloated bellies fast. But hurry and call now while we're still giving it away for free. 1-800-900-4110. Strict limit of one free trial per household. These free trials are reserved for anyone, male or female, who's looking for maximum belly flattening in minimum time. Somabiotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Want to see what you'd look like with a flatter belly? Now's your chance. But hurry, call now for details while we're still giving these trials of Soma Biotics away for free. 1-800-900-4110. That's 1-800-900-4110. If lines are busy, try again. 1-800-900-4110.
The last thing I wanted to inherit from my mom was her varicose and spider veins. Then it happened. Embarrassing, bulgy, naughty-looking legs. Not to mention the pain and swelling. I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I went to Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses again.
Whether it's a family gathering or office formal, make sure your legs look and feel their best this fall. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
How much of your life are you losing because of pain? I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC at Genesis Back and Neck, and I really do want to give you your life back.
Hi, my name is Brenda. I had 5 of the lower disc of my back that had herniated, and they had pressed against the nerves, and I could not move. Hadn't felt my right leg in 8 months. The pain was so bad. Neurologists and surgeons had told me I'd never walk. And then I went back into the office with Dr. Chad, and I told him, I've had so many people tell me there's nothing I can do. And he says, I'm pretty sure I can get you out of that wheelchair. And little by little, he got me up walking, and it has gotten so much better. I cannot tell you how much I admire everybody in that office.
That just blesses me to hear that. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at genesisback.com.
If you're familiar with cloud computing, you probably know that Amazon Web Services offers a complete set of secure compute, storage, application, and deployment services that help companies launch and scale their IT infrastructures while lowering costs. But did you know that you're still responsible for protecting your own AWS-based assets, meaning your applications and data, from advanced cyber threats? Protect your AWS with Barracuda Network's advanced firewall solutions. Visit AWS Marketplace or barracuda.com/AWS to learn more.
When you've overloaded your closets, stacked the attic sky high, and can't cram one more thing in the garage, it's time to call McGee Lane Self-Storage in Louisville and get some relief. They're to make your storage experience affordable, easy, safe, and secure. They offer gated access, state-of-the-art surveillance, Penske truck rental, 2 freight elevators, climate control, month-to-month leasing, and more. Call now for fall specials at 972-317-3112. Or for more information, visit McGeeLaneSelfStorage.com. You'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. That's McGeeLaneSelfStorage.com.
I love the switch to fall temperatures, and I love the new special from Zero Res. $29 for a carpet cleaning better than you've ever had. Hey, Mark Davis, call 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN, pre-treated, clean, sanitized. And Zero Res doesn't just do carpets. They do countertops, upholstery, drapes, tile, hardwood floors. Let them do it all, but it starts with the carpets. $29 a room, pre-treated, clean, sanitized. 214-37-CLEAN, 214-37-CLEAN, or ZeroResDFW.com.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. It's completely and totally embarrassing to see all of this pseudo-journalism being thrown at Donald Trump and his taxes. Okay, is it self-inflicted? Yeah, it is. Yeah, but he should have linked, not necessarily because he hasn't given them out yet. He should have linked the IRS as the delay in getting his taxes finished. He should have said, you've got to ask the IRS. I'm going to release them as soon as the IRS signs off on my returns. And of course, the IRS has no real reason to sign off on Donald Trump's returns insofar as they can continue to embarrass him, and Hillary can use him as a whipping post for these taxes. But all this time, all of this going on right now, puts us in a position where Hillary is not having to answer questions about Benghazi. He's not having to answer questions about that server of hers, or being called out by the FBI director as a liar in her testimony before Congress. Speaking of which, where's the FBI on that investigation of whether or not Hillary Clinton committed perjury in front of Congress? Because clearly she did. Just curious, has Donald Trump ever committed perjury in front of Congress? Are you able to actually associate an honest-to-goodness lie being shared with us by Donald Trump that hasn't some sort of strange, subjective crap in it somewhere? See, I can't find anything like that. I've been looking, too. You know, I was looking at something today, and it said that, let's see, someone from Yale University determined that that wasn't exactly true. So, therefore, it was a lie. It wasn't a lie. According to somebody from Yale, he disagreed with what Trump said. That doesn't make it a lie, even if the SOB is from Yale. Sorry. There's a lot of opinion and a lot of editorialization in the lies that Donald Trump is being accused of saying. In the meantime, we have Hillary Clinton's own words that hang around her neck like a millstone. And you're sitting here going, well, Jon-David is just in the bag for Trump. No, I'm in the bag for the truth. And I'm trying to figure out why it's almost a 10-to-1 average of negative pieces of news on Donald Trump as opposed to negative pieces of news on Hillary Clinton. And there's plenty of things to report on Hillary's part. She doesn't have to answer questions about the Clinton Foundation. No. In fact, what we're trying to do is we're trying to poke holes in the Trump Foundation. Today, what did they find? What did Trump do? Did Trump use the foundation to fund political activity? No. Well, what did he do? Well, if you're got to get the paperwork right to solicit funds in New York. What? Yeah, the foundation didn't put in the right paperwork to solicit funds. And so the Democrat Attorney General says, no, you cannot solicit funds in New York. Another perfect example of the Democrat Party making it impossible for conservative agencies of any kind to collect any money to provide a political opposition. This republic's in trouble, friends and neighbors. This is the Wells Report.
Dennis Prager believes we're watching the left ruin this country.
University of Michigan sent out a letter to all students and faculty that at the beginning of the year, every student should supply the pronoun that the student wishes to be known by. He or she or Z or what have you. The left has gone mad, my friends. It has gone mad.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 of its highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as on campus from wherever you are. Learn more by texting CLASS to 369-369.
My name is Jonathan. I live in Portland, Oregon, and my major is communications.
ASU has helped me with my life goals in the fact that it's giving me a platform to stand upon and provided me a firm foundation. The degree program fit wonderfully with how and what I wanted to do with my life.
Find out for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates. Get started today. Text CLASS to 369-369. Again, that's CLASS to 369-369.
This is Michael David from Seattle. I'm 51 years old, and 6 months ago, I started taking Andro 400 to increase my testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continued to take Andro 400 and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
And now I will tell you about something medically that works. How was that for an intro? I'm about to say it because I never really thought I would. I took Relief Factor as the first pain reliever I would ever endorse because of how it worked for my wife and my colleague Hugh Hewitt. Well, now I can tell you that this thing is just short of some sort of miracle. See, I had an ongoing pain, not terrible, just a pain. I simply assumed I would just live with it. Then I got some knee pain as a result of some of my workouts, so I decided I would take it for the knee pain, and now both are gone. That's why I think of this as sort of a miracle drug. ReliefFactor.com. All I ask is that you visit their website, and then you decide whether or not you try it out. Clearly, it can't help everybody. There is no such thing. But it certainly helps a lot of people, and now I can include me as one of them. So go to ReliefFactor.com.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents a story about Nana's cake.
It's Nana's 80th birthday, and you accidentally locked your keys in the car, along with her ice cream cake. No worries, this is a happy story. You have Liberty Mutual Insurance with 24-hour roadside assistance, and help is on the way. Liberty saves the day, and Nana even gives you an extra piece of unmelted cake.
Click the banner to get a quote. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Optional towing and labor coverage. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company.
Hiring people is probably the worst part of my job.
We started using ZipRecruiter about 3 months ago. One click and my job was posted to 100+ job boards, all the top sites.
All of the candidates came to my dashboard, and it's easy to compare them.
And I couldn't believe the number of great applicants we got. I don't know how we hired before ZipRecruiter.
Find the best candidates with ZipRecruiter, where your job is just one click away from 100+ job sites. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio offer.
New York Times bestselling author Edward Klein has done it again.
My new book, Guilty as Sin, uncovers the real story behind Hillary Clinton's email scandals and how she's stayed one step ahead of the law, at least for now. For the real story on what the FBI found on Clinton's email server and what tricks Bill and Hillary have up their sleeve next, read Guilty as Sin.
Guilty as Sin by Edward Klein. Available October 4th at Amazon and bookstores everywhere.
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. As I told you earlier, we have a television show that we do every day. It's on YouTube Live Events. You can now go to either of my Facebook pages. You can go to Jon-David Wells, JON-DAVID-WELLS, or you can go to The Wells Report on Facebook, and you can find a link to the show that I'm currently doing right now. There's a wonderful chat room that's associated with it. There's somebody that's talking to us through an alias. He is known as Ebo, and it's amazing what Ebo knows and what he doesn't know. For example, He's talking about how the 1995 tax return is a liability for Donald Trump. And I said, well, were you aware of the release of the 95 return by the New York Times was illegal? And he says, it wasn't illegal. Yeah, it was. Then somebody said, well, what about the statute of limitations? Well, they broke the law today, so I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations hasn't expired yet. Media organizations, for the most part, are allowed to give information they obtained as long as they didn't participate in anything illegal. They did participate in something illegal. They published information that doesn't belong to them and has the huge potential of damaging a private citizen of the United States. And by the way, when it comes to the taxes, that's a private citizen matter. So the New York Times broke the law to give you something to press your chest out about today, Ebo. And there's something else I want to ask you. And anybody else. For those people who say, well, Donald Trump didn't pay taxes for 18 years. My God. He hasn't paid federal income taxes. Well, first of all, he didn't have to pay federal income taxes. He's been audited by the IRS and still has not been thrown in jail for evading taxes. Believe me, they would have thrown him in jail if they had been able to catch him. So what's the story? Well, the story is that he should have paid taxes anyway. Okay? How many of you leftist clowns out there have gone ahead and torn up your tax return check in the last 3 years? No, I'm not going to accept this tax return because I believe the government should have it. Because that essentially is what you're asking Donald Trump to do. Give up his tax returns. And while we're at it, Mr. and Mrs. Leftist America, what do you call tax returns being given to people who didn't pay taxes in the first place? That's right. That is a bribe? An unknown tax rebate? What is that? As a matter of fact, there are a lot of people in the United States who received a tax return that aren't even people who belong in the United States. What do you say about that? You know, if we're going to start throwing around taxes and saying how stupid and ridiculous Donald Trump is for not paying taxes, do you realize he's actually bragging about the fact that he didn't have to pay taxes? Are you actually aware of the fact that if his tax plan gets approved, he will have to pay taxes no matter what the situation is moving forward? Does any of that penetrate here? There's that Jon-David Wells being an apologist for Donald Trump. No, there's that Jon-David Wells reporting the news. But none of this truth matters, does it, really? When it gets right down to it, doesn't matter. I started this broadcast off by saying, hey, did you happen to notice that the immunity deals for Cheryl Mills and Stephanie What's-Her-Face? Did you happen to notice that they also involved destroying both Stephanie's and Cheryl's laptop computers after they were done? After they promised not to look at any data beyond January 31st, 2015? Which, by the way, may have shown actual honest-to-goodness obstruction of justice, something that James Comey said he couldn't prove. Even though Hillary Clinton turned over a wiped server to him after it had been subpoenaed. And now we find out that not just that server was wiped, but the server under control by Platte River Networks, and a guy who's now in deep legal trouble because he wiped the email index on Hillary's server clean after it was already under a protective order, under a conservation order, and under subpoena. What does that mean? Well, that means that somebody's in deep political trouble and legal trouble. You're right. Is Hillary Clinton one of those people? I doubt very sincerely that it's going to make much difference, because we discovered today that the FBI would actually commit obstruction of justice on its own to protect Hillary Clinton, because there's nothing else that the destruction of those two laptops would mean. So if they'll go that far to keep from having to prosecute Hillary Clinton, then what's this silly little idea that she lied before Congress? Why would that matter? And I'm really interested in hearing what the FBI has to say about that. Well, she lied, but it wasn't really, she misspoke. It was misinterpreted. Well, it was, really? I really want to hear that. But you know what we're going to hear? We're not going to investigate it. Why? Because it's Hillary Clinton. And the FBI has evaded the truth, has decided to abandon the truth and choose political sides. That's what happened today. In the United States of America, the FBI abandoned truth and chose political sides and committed obstruction of justice to do it. Now, if you happen to be an FBI agent that's really unhappy with what I just said, why don't you get on the telephone at 866-660-5759 and tell me how I got it wrong? Because believe me, I have never wanted to be more wrong in my life than what I feel right this minute. But I'm not, huh? Well, yeah, you are wrong in that it wasn't actually today that they abandoned the truth and chose sides. It was the day they granted immunity to Stephanie Mills and, Cheryl Mills and Stephanie. I gave the piece of paper to Vicky. I'm sorry, it was Heather Samuelson. It wasn't, I'm sorry. Heather Samuelson and Cheryl Mills. That was when they abandoned the truth and chose sides. And now the FBI's in it for Hillary Clinton. She violated the National Espionage Act, but it was by accident. There was no intent. How do you know there was no intent? Well, because we couldn't find any evidence. Why? Well, because we said we weren't going to look at any evidence past January 31st, 2015 on not one, but two Hillary Clinton aides laptops. And we already know what happened to the servers. And we're going to elect this person to the presidency, huh? Is that it? And you're not expecting there to be any trouble? She already doesn't give a tinker's dang about the laws of the United States. She thinks they're for other people, the little people, the ones that don't matter. Like, Glenn Doherty, Tyrone Woods, Scott Smith, Chris Stevens. Those little people that don't matter. I'm sorry, Sean Smith. I keep trying to call him Scott. Sean Smith. So there you have it. And so here we go. Someone who has violated national security protocols is about to become the president of the United States. Unless the people of the United States save their own country. Because it's not going to be the Republican Party that saves it. It's not going to be the Democrat Party. Hell, the Democrat Party is, the anti-American party. They should just call themselves the anti-American party. The mainstream media has abandoned the truth and chosen sides. The only people that can save the United States now is us. We the people. We've done it before. Are we still the Americans that can do it again? Or have we morphed into this large group of sheep that can't tell a liar from someone telling the truth? But of course, truth is transitory, isn't it? Well, it certainly is in the terms of leftist progressive politics. There is no real truth. It's all relativist. If you can get a political advantage out of twisting the truth into a pretzel, dunking it in flammable mustard and setting it afire, then by golly, that's what you do. Because the end justifies the means. And don't forget that smug, I got away with everything look on your face. Don't forget that. Well, that's probably the same look that King George had on his face. But I wonder if we're those Americans still. I say we are. Do you? Are we the Americans still made of the stuff that would save this nation? Yes or no? Well, I am. That's why I do what I do. I've not abandoned the truth. But I've seen all I need to see about Hillary Clinton. Is the woman capable of, is she qualified to be the president of the United States? No. No, she isn't. Would it be a disaster for her to be elected? Yes. And I'm going to remind you that I said it too. This is the Wells Report.
The last thing I wanted to inherit from my mom was her varicose and spider veins. Then it happened. Embarrassing, bulgy, naughty-looking legs. Not to mention the pain and swelling. I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I went to Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses again.
Whether it's a family gathering or office formal, make sure your legs look and feel their best this fall. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my air conditioning and heating company, Walker AC. Happy fall football season and dig this big game promotion from Train and Walker AC. Now through December 15th, buy a qualifying system from Train, scratch off a trade-in allowance of up to $2,000, or take special financing for 48 months. You can always count on complete satisfaction from a Train dealer, so call mine, Walker AC and Heating, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or walkerac.com. Complete program eligibility, dates, details, restrictions, subject to credit approval. The company to trust for all your AC and heating needs. They're not going to sell you a system they don't need. They'll fix stuff, fair price, best prices. Love these folks. New systems from Train, the best repairs, 972-4-WALKER, 972-4, and Walker. They're my AC and heating company all year long. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating and Train, because it's hard to stop a train. 972-4-WALKER, 972-4-WALKER, or walkerac.com.
You've seen her on TV.
You look around your church sometime, the older the fella, the higher their britches are. That can be painful. You know what I mean?
You've seen her on the big screen.
I do have on 2 pairs of Spanx. I put on 1 pair, I got a hole. I thought I had a tumor. You know what I mean?
Now, here's your chance to see her live.
There's no real ladylike way of describing this, is there?
Shonda Pierce, the queen of clean comedy, is back with the Happily Laughter After Tour.
Hey, this ain't Pretty Bill. We're going to tell you how it really is.
Come see Shonda Pierce and special guest Karen Williams and the Happily Laughter After Tour. For details and ticket information, visit awakeningevents.com.
You can walk a mile in my world.
Join us for the 94.9 KLTY Dallas Baptist University Concert Series, Saturday, October 8th at Cottonwood Creek Church in Allen. Get tickets at itickets.com.
One had a pink one, one had a blue one.
If you're a business owner, I want you to imagine standing on home plate in front of a sold-out crowd of 50,000 raving fans at a professional baseball game. They give you the microphone and you have 60 seconds to tell the crowd why they should do business with you. Out of 50,000 people, do you think you might get some new customers? Sure you would. Now imagine you could do that in front of 4 sold-out baseball games. That's 200,000 people. Did you know that's how many people listen to 660 AM The Answer every week? And you have the opportunity to stand in front of the 660 AM The Answer microphone and get 60 seconds to tell our raving fans all about your business. You think you'd get new customers if you did that? You bet. The businesses you hear on 660 AM The Answer are knocking it out of the park with new customers. If you're open to seeing how much it costs to advertise your business on 660 AM The Answer, send an email request to advertise@ksky.com. That's advertise@ksky.com. Let's play ball.
Do you have low back or neck pain? Does it run down your arms or your legs? Do you have a bulging or herniated disc degeneration, or spinal arthritis? Even worse, have you been told you need back surgery or injections? If you answered yes, then please listen to what I have to say. My name is Dr. Chad Vines, DC, at Genesis Back and Neck, and I use the most advanced spinal decompression system available, the DRX 9000, to correct back problems just like yours. We don't use addictive drugs, and we don't use any type of dangerous invasive surgery for these problems. Spinal decompression is safe, FDA cleared, and it's not painful, and has about an 86% success rate. We accept most insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. You will sit down and visit with me personally until I've answered all of your questions. And if you're a candidate for decompression, you can try out the treatment all at no charge to you. So if you're ready to not hurt anymore and don't want to have surgery, call me at 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at mylowback.com.
660 AM, The Answer. If it's important to you, we're talking about it right now on The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. Yep. New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman ordered the Republican presidential candidate, Donald Trump, to stop raising money. It's actually not Donald Trump, it's his charity. The Trump Foundation's attorney said that he had a letter from Schneiderman's office that said that they must immediately cease soliciting contributions or engaging in any other fundraising activities in New York. The failure to immediately discontinue solicitation and to file information and reports required under state law shall be deemed to be a continuing fraud upon the people of the state of New York. Well, that's nice. Yeah. Schneiderman, a Democrat, has repeatedly clashed with Trump in recent years. In 2013, he filed a fraud suit against Trump, accusing Trump University of bilking its participants and falsely overstating the Manhattan real estate mogul's involvement. Trump, who had previously donated to Schneiderman's campaign, countered with a public relations announcement, creating a website touting the Trump University program and filing an ethics complaint against the Attorney General. Last month, Schneiderman's office launched an investigation into the Trump Foundation following a series of articles by the Washington Post examining the charity's actions and, of course, a personal request by Hillary Clinton. Okay, I added that last part. That's not what happened. But if you're going to say that there's something wrong with the Clinton Foundation, well, by golly, we're going to find something wrong with the Trump Foundation. Well, they haven't been able to find anything wrong. So what they're doing is they're saying, well, there's a paperwork problem, so you can't raise money. And with the IRS background and Lois Lerner and so on, the IRS and various Democrats keeping Republicans from raising money to provide a political opposition is just stock in trade for this party. Don't you love it? This is the Wells Report.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
John Truitt here for Simple Sleep Services. Are you ready to stop snoring and treat your sleep apnea? The Simple Sleep system from Simple Sleep Services is a compact, comfortable, custom-fit solution that's proven to stop snoring and treat your sleep apnea. It's covered by medical insurance, and many patients are meeting their deductibles this time of year. This may mean less cash out of pocket for you and your partner to get the restful sleep you deserve. No mood-killing mask, no pain or downtime. Just a better night's sleep for you and the loved one next to you. I personally use the Simple Sleep system, and I wouldn't go a night without it. Learn more at simplesleepservices.com or call 469-685-1700. That's 469-685-1700 or simplesleepservices.com. For your convenience, we have offices located in both Dallas and Fort Worth. No CPAP, no surgery, just simple sleep. Call 469-685-1700 or go to simplesleepservices.com. That's simplesleepservices.com.
Have you seen CD rates recently? Have you looked at the performance of your IRA? This is Bart Johnson of Painter & Johnson Financial. If you're tired of the ups and downs of the stock market, the low interest rate environment, and worried about risking your savings, it's time to call Painter & Johnson. We have a 4.65% guaranteed interest rate product that allows you to take monthly interest, or you can let it compound tax deferred. For those wise investors looking for a secure place to put their money, ending risk and giving a great return, including CDs, IRA rollovers, or dollars just sitting in a low-yielding savings account, Painter & Johnson invites you to come in and put the powerful 4.65% guaranteed interest rate product to work for you. This product is specifically designed for 401k rollovers or as a CD alternative. For sound financial advice, call me at 817-900-3180 or come by and learn how we have preserved and grown wealth for our clients for over 40 years. 817-900-3180. Call me today and let us put our 4.65% guaranteed interest rate product to work for you.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Hillary Clinton calling Donald Trump a poster boy for a rigged tax system at a rally in Ohio Monday. Trump said earlier in Colorado he used tax laws brilliantly.
I've legally used the tax laws to benefit, really, I mean, it's to my benefit, and to benefit of my company, my investors, my employees, my family.
The candidate's responding to a New York Times story that Trump reported losing more than $900 million in 1995, which would have allowed him to avoid paying taxes for years. The outer bands of Hurricane Matthew hitting Haiti.
The most dangerous part of the storm as it moves across Haiti. So the northeast, that's where the heaviest rain, the strongest winds, and we are expecting a direct impact.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean says Matthew is currently packing winds of 145 miles per hour. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Stimulating talk, 660 AM, The Answer. Sean Hannity gives you a hard truth.
Is anybody here surprised that the media is this abusively biased? How many times do I have to go back and say what has happened to this country and the media? Media is dead. The news media in this country is non-existent. All these people that attack Sean Hannity, the only difference between me and them is I'm honest.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Larry Elder at 5 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Advantage Gold has the highest ratings according to TrustLink with a 100% 5-star rating.
A New York Times best-selling author just announced that 99% of retirement accounts are more exposed to risk than ever before. If you have an IRA or a 401k, listen closely because I'm about to tell you about a little-known IRS loophole that could save your retirement. Right now, U.S. debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market is near all-time highs. If it all comes crashing down, do you have a plan in place? Advantage Gold has found an IRS loophole which allows you to convert your standard retirement account into physical gold and silver. We have helped thousands of people use this strategy to keep more of their hard-earned retirement savings. Get our free gold loophole guide and learn how you could secure your IRA or 401k tax and penalty-free with physical gold. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Operators are standing by. Call 800-900-8000. Your free gold loophole guide is waiting. Just call now. 800-900-8000.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis from our friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. Simple question. What are we trying to do? Well, Mark, what do you mean? I mean, what are we trying to do? Let's make the list. Eat healthy, lose weight. That's all good. But listen, on that list somewhere, keep aware of our own bodies. Try to fend off heart attacks and cancer by being aware of what's going on inside us. Scan technology exists, and Viascan prices give us the motivation to do the job right. At Viascan of Las Colinas, John Duncan and the crew are there for you at a number I'm about to share so that you can see through the heart scan if you have plaques or blockages going on in your heart. See through the body scan what's going on in various other vital organs, maybe any pesky cancers that are festering there that you can detect early, the virtual colonoscopy, and so much more so we can stay healthy, stay on the planet, stay plugged into life. 972-739-2840. Call them. 972-739-2840 or just Google Viascan.
Hey there, this is Eric Metaxas. Lately, I've been telling you about Liberty University's online degree programs. Liberty University is the world's largest Christian university with over 95,000 students studying around the world through Liberty's online programs. While there are a lot of universities who've jumped into online education, few can deliver on the promise of a quality education with such flexibility, and even fewer from Nashville.
I did it. I actually got my degree from Liberty University. 2 degrees, actually. Not only has this process taught me self-discipline, I've also learned that it is never too late to fulfill your dreams. And I did it all online. I did it, and you can too.
Call Liberty University now at 800-424-9595. That's 800-424-9595, 800-424-9595, or visit liberty.edu/online. Flexible, affordable, possible. Liberty University online.
The angels from Visiting Angels are standing by to care for the loved ones in your life who need in-home care. If you have a family member or friend who needs assistance at home with hygiene, meals, light housework, errands, or companionship, I hope you'll consider Visiting Angels, America's choice in senior home care. If you know someone who wants to remain independent, these are the people who can help. Rates are surprisingly affordable, and up to 24-hour in-home care is available. You can even select your caregiver before care begins. Franchise opportunities are also available. With more than 500 franchised locations nationwide, there's an office near you. Call toll-free today at 877-374-LIVE or online at visitingangels.com. For senior home care from the real-life angels of Visiting Angels, call toll-free 877-374-LIVE. That's Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care at 877-374-LIVE or online at visitingangels.com.
Here's something to feel good about from Centrum Silver. Vitamin D was discovered in the age of dancing, the roaring 20s.
Right on cue, because vitamin D plays an essential role in supporting strong bones and muscles. And just as dance moves have evolved, so is the importance of vitamin D. That's why Centrum Silver upgraded to our highest level of vitamin D3 ever.
Hey, want to dance?
Centrum Silver, something to definitely feel good about.
Welcome to Staples.
Staples guy, I'm back for ink. Seems like I was here yesterday. It's like deja vu.
Well, now at Staples, buy any HP ink and get the second 40% off.
So I get 2 cartridges and save money? No more deja vu.
Now at Staples, buy any HP ink and get the second 40% off.
Deja vu joke. I get it.
Buy 1 HP ink, get the second 40% off. Staples, make more happen.
Ends 10/8/16 applies to regular priced items only. Cannot be combined with other offers. Exclusions apply. See store or staples.com for details. Limit 2 per customer, 1 per transaction, non-transferable.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AMTheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Let me get to Kurt in Bedford. Kurt, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Jon-David, thank you for having me. I've been listening to your report, and I always learn something from it. That's what makes it a good show.
Thank you, sir.
I was thinking about the last 8 years, and I was thinking about the IRS scandal going after the Tea Party and the Veterans Administration making the false wait times to make them look good, even though veterans were dying.
Only 307,000.
Yep. And I was thinking about the EPA, you know, they're just unleashing their job killing measures and their farm killing measures, and just they're wreaking havoc all across the United States. They all fall under the executive branch, the president. And I started thinking, well, you know, that'll swing back eventually because, you know, things do, and these are executive branch bureaucracies. But when you start seeing the Justice Department and the FBI doing the things they're doing, that really, really scares me to the core, Jon-David.
When you are in a situation where the secret police of the United States apparently has abandoned the truth and chosen political sides to the benefit of the current presidential candidate for the Democrat Party, being frightened is probably the simplest and most gentle way of saying it.
Right, and the only addition I would say to that is your previous statement before the break was, you know, I get weak sometimes. I'm older, and you know I could slough it all off, and I could get a new passport and cash out and just blow it all off. And good luck to you guys. I don't have any children here. So, but I'm not going to do that. My father fought in World War II, my grandfather in World War I, and my father fought in the Korean War as well. I worked for the Navy, Army, and Marines during the Reagan administration. Now I'm in, and I'm not running. And there's tens of millions of people like me and you that are reasonable people, and we're not going to put up with this.
No, we won't. But the thing about it is that we have exactly one more opportunity to protect the country that we had in 2008. And this nation will either choose to protect it or choose to not protect it. And it is my prayer that we choose to protect it. Hillary Clinton was in North Carolina today, throwing the race card again. And Monica Alba writes it this way: in the wake of Keith Lamont Scott's death, Hillary Clinton made an impassioned plea to heal racial divides at a black church here Sunday morning. urging the country to see the recent violence through our children's eyes. What? Our entire country should take a moment to really look at what's going on here and across America to imagine how young people view tensions between police and minority communities. I'm a grandmother, and like every grandmother, I worry about the safety and security of my grandchildren, but my worries are not the same as black grandmothers. Clinton said, adding that every child, regardless of race, deserves the same sense of security and deserves the same hope. She can't possibly have meant that, could she? That every child, regardless of race, deserves the same sense of security and deserves the same hope? Where's Black Lives Matter jumping all over that? Where's the mainstream media jumping all over that? Isn't that the same as all lives matter? The Democrat nominee was first invited by faith leaders to visit Charlotte after Scott was shot and killed by police earlier this month. Ensuing protests and unrest made the trip more challenging. Last Sunday, Clinton postponed the visit after city officials worried it would divert security resources. Clinton seated next to Representative Alma Adams in the second row of the Little Rock AME Zion Church, nodded along and listened intently for the entirety of Sunday's service. She also mouthed the words to several songs throughout. Well, of course. Now, we don't know all the details about the shooting, but we do know this family and this community is in pain. Therefore, we pray for them. We pray for all families who have suffered similar losses. Well, how about the police officers that have lost their lives? How about those guys? She mean those guys too? Clinton was joined by Ziana Oliphant, a young girl who made headlines after her tearful appeal before the Charlotte City Council last week. We are black people and we shouldn't have to feel like this. Which brings me to my point. My point is this. My point is that I'm an American citizen. And I'm tired of being browbeaten about which race is more put upon than any other. More importantly, I'm really tired of listening to Hillary Clinton talk about trying to heal the racial divides in our country while exploiting them every 5 minutes. I'm tired of being called a racist by Hillary Clinton. I never politically endorsed a sitting member of the KKK. Ever. I never acted on race a single day in my life. Ever. Do I tell the truth about it? You're damn right I do. Do I stand up for things that political correctness would say, no, Jon-David, you really shouldn't say that? Yeah, I do that. But you see, political correctness is only good if you happen to be a liberal. Bill Maher. The cynicism is beginning to hurt. I have to be honest with you. It's beginning to hurt me. I don't care whether you're a Democrat or whether you're a Republican. I cannot for the life of me understand why anybody who is white would ever vote for Hillary Clinton. If it's not that we're deplorable, it's that we're racist. If it's not that we're racist and deplorable, we're too rich. Or we're mired in white privilege. White privilege? I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody anywhere in the United States. Anybody who's white and got anything out of affirmative action. I have never, ever known anybody that got anything out of affirmative action who was white. Do you? By all means. Hey, if I miss someone, please, by all means, tell me. All of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars spent on trying to assuage the guilt of the United States of America, deserved guilt of the United States of America, all of the hundreds and billions of dollars spent already means nothing. Nothing. Every single day, every single political campaign, I get pounded in the face because I'm a racist. By white people. Well, thank you, Mrs. Clinton. Thank you very much for being able to explain to me in no uncertain terms just how deep my character flaws are. And how deeply flawed America is. Thank God you're here. Thank God you're here to show us that you, like your husband, can be stalwart members of the black community, even though I can't be. That you can be such a stalwart member of the black community that you can actually politically support a grand dragon of the Ku Klux Klan. And not just one. And be seen as an upright and stalwart member of the American black community. Well, good for you. All I've done has been fair. All I've done is everything I can to be an America that stands up for the words of our Constitution. You know, the ones that say equal, all men are created equal. All of those words. I noticed that the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, don't say all white men are created equal. Then I will, for the sake of this conversation, translate the word men to everyone. You're listening to the Wells Report. I'm Jon-David Wells. What do you have to say? Call us and join us. 866-660-5759.
You need a plan as you get closer to retirement. A plan that'll take you from where you are now to the retirement that you've always dreamed about. The first step on that path is to tune into the Wealth Smart Radio Show, Sundays at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer. You only get to retire once, so it's really important you do it right. And your host, Reed Johnson, president of Lake Point Advisory Group, helps people retire successfully every day. So don't miss Wealth Smart every Sunday at 7 a.m. right here on 660 AM The The Answer.
What's lurking in your crawl space? Dampness, mold, insects, rodents, wood rotting fungus? Your nasty crawl space could be affecting the structural integrity of your home. Also, up to 50% of the air you breathe on your first floor comes from the crawl space. That means it could be affecting the health of your family too. Not to worry. Call the professionals at Power Jack Foundation Repair at 866-638-PJFR. Power Jack is the expert in crawl space moisture control, drainage, and foundation repair. Power Jack Foundation Repair has been in business for over 15 years and is locally owned and operated. A certified inspector will inspect your crawl space absolutely free. Find out how a clean crawl space encapsulation system can eliminate moisture and make your home a healthier and more energy efficient place to live. Visit GoPowerJack.com today to schedule your free estimate and inspection, or call 866-638-PJFR. That's 866-638-7537. Power Jack Foundation Repair. Visit GoPowerJack.com today.
How much of your life are you losing because of pain? I'm Dr. Chad Glines, DC at Genesis Back and Neck, and I really do want to give you your life back.
Hi, my name is Brenda. I had 5 of the lower disc of my back that had herniated, and they had pressed against the nerves, and I could not move. Hadn't felt my right leg in 8 months. The pain was so bad. Neurologists and surgeons had told me I'd never walk. And then I went back into the office with Dr. Chad, and I told him, I've had so many people tell me there's nothing I can do. And he says, I'm pretty sure I can get you out of that wheelchair. And little by little, he got me up walking, and it has gotten so much better. I cannot tell you how much I admire everybody in that office.
That just blesses me to hear that. At Genesis, we accept most major insurances, and your first visit will be at no charge. Call me. 817-328-1922. That's 817-328-1922, or online at genesisback.com.
The last thing I wanted to inherit from my mom was her varicose and spider veins. Then it happened. Embarrassing, bulgy, knotty-looking legs. Not to mention the pain and swelling. I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I went to Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses again.
Whether it's a family gathering or office formal, make sure your legs look and feel their best this fall. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
You can buy your next gun anywhere, but there's nowhere like the Texas Gun Pros. There are gun shows, big box stores, and even the occasional eccentric dealer. But there is no one like the Texas Gun Pros. Texas Gun Pros are truly your pros for all your gun needs, bringing you big store selection with a local family experience. There truly is no one like Texas Gun Pros. What else makes the Texas Gun Pros stand out from the rest? An online catalog with hundreds of guns, guaranteed to have the one you're looking for. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by their North Richland Hills location or visit them on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
New York Times bestselling author Edward Klein has done it again.
My new book, Guilty as Sin, uncovers the real story behind Hillary Clinton's email scandals and how she's stayed one step ahead of the law, at least for now. For the real story on what the FBI found on Clinton's email server and what tricks Bill and Hillary have up their sleeve next, read Guilty as Sin.
Guilty as Sin by Edward Klein. Available October 4th at Amazon and bookstores everywhere.
660 AM, The Answer. Now, by popular demand, The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to The Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Telephone number 866-660-5759. I am not deplorable. I'm an American patriot. I got proof. And I'm not a bigot. And I've got proof. And I'm tired of Hillary Clinton saying that all that's not true. And I'm trying to figure out why anybody who's white in the United States of America would not be equally as either frustrated or just plain outraged by the nonstop charges of racism that Hillary Clinton continually levels on me and you and everybody else. In the face of overwhelming evidence of how much this country has fought for and hated racism, nothing is ever enough. Not the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions. Not the constant pointing out of absolute racial hypocrisy and double standards across the nation by noted people far, far further up on the intellectual food chain than me. None of it matters as long as there's politics involved. Why? I will tell you why. Steve in Allen, Texas, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hey, JD. I can report with joy that the black community does not largely reflect Hillary Clinton. You know, and I can say this because some of my best bosses when I was in the Navy were black. Some of my best petty officers were black. The only reason IS-2 Isham wasn't my leading petty officer was because IS-1 McCoy outranked him, and he was black. I don't care.
I don't either. But the thing about it is that for every 4 years, like clockwork for the last 3 presidential campaigns, we, the people of the United States, the United States are immediately thrown into the vat of evil, white, racist SOBs that hate everybody but us.
We're all Nazis.
Yeah.
But I've knocked on doors in Oak Cliff for the Broden campaign.
No, I understand. No, there's no amount of reality that will stop these people from doing it. And why? Why is Hillary Clinton constantly talking about race in the United States? Because she's pandering. Why is she pandering? Well, because she very likely is on the brink of losing the black vote. And why? Because the black vote is suddenly realizing, you know what? We don't hear from Democrats except every 4 years when they need our vote. Not all, but some. I'm tired of my country being referred to as a racist country by people who stand in obvious profit for having been here. Michelle Obama talks about the fact that she wakes up every day in a house that slaves built. Excuse me, ma'am, but that house was built over 150 years ago. It's been a long 150 years. And the United States hasn't seen slavery except for, I don't know, the white slavery that you seem to ignore coming across the border of the United States and Mexico. Oh, gosh, John, see, there you go, making sense again. This is the Wells Report.
This is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, and I'd like to invite you to join me for our talk show every Sunday morning. We're actually trying to convert the world to organics. We talk about the natural organic program for farming, ranching, gardening, and pest control. Also, a lot of talk about health issues for animals and people. Hope you can join us for all the fun.
Make sure to tune in to Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 of its highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as on campus from wherever you are. Learn more by texting CLASS to 369-369.
My name is Jonathan. I live in Portland, Oregon, and my major is communications. ASU has helped me with my life goals in the fact that it's giving me a platform to stand upon and provided me a firm foundation. The degree program fit wonderfully with how and what I wanted to do. With
Check. Checking 1-2-3-5-5-4-3-2-1. So the mainstream media really doesn't care much about the vice presidential debate. So the mainstream media really doesn't care much about the vice presidential debate and the run-up to the presidential election of 2016. Fortunately, you are not a consumer of the mainstream media as much as you are a consumer of the Wells Report. So, you want to hear the vice presidential debate? Join us at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Join us at 8 o'clock tonight. And that is exactly what you will hear on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
October 19th, debate.
Right. Mark Davis, Mark Davis, I can hardly wait to be with you October 19th for the last debate watching party for the presidency of the United States. It'll be the last one, and then we vote. I can hardly wait to share that with you, sir. What will they say to each other? Speaking of that, what will the vice presidential candidates say to each other tonight? Glad you asked. There's one place you can go to find out. That's right. We broadcast the vice presidential debate in its entirety on the Wells Report tonight, beginning at 8 on 660 AM The Answer.
Like you by providing funds to take your business to the next level. We offer a true business loan with payback terms to 3 years, and since we are a direct lender, we can fund quickly. We offer loans from $10,000 to $2 million and payback terms to 3 years, and we don't require perfect credit. We approve most loan applications, and we can fund in a matter of days. So if you need capital to grow your business, buy inventory, project financing, or just need to pay payroll or taxes, before you call Shark Tank and give away equity, call me now at 855-85-FUNDS and get your funds quickly. Just call 855-85-FUNDS. That's 855-85-FUNDS, or apply online at Simply Quick Business Loans and get funded now.
When man stops believing in God, he'll believe in anything. Torchbearer follows the Duck Commander Phil Robertson as he argues the absurdity of life without God.
Human civilization's best chance of survival is to anchor itself in the God of creation. God created man and woman in his image. We are image bearers of God.
Torchbearer. This film is not yet rated. In select theaters October 7th. More information is available at torchbearermovie.com.
Aging populations, demographics, Europe, the Middle East, institutional real estate. These are just some of the topics that we're covering in the Prepare for Inflation Now conference at Saturday, October 15th at 9 a.m. This is Jerry Tuma, host of Smart Money. If you're worried about the stock market, your nest egg, come to our conference and learn why you must prepare for inflation now. 800-327-4285, 1-800-327-4285.
Jerry Tuma is a registered representative with Independent Financial Group, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
660 AM, The Answer.
660 AM, TheAnswer.com.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with Jon-David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. I've already talked about this one. Here. Sitting right over there is the world's greatest radio executive producer. I'm going to keep the rest of this over here. Yeah, that's everything. This is for tomorrow. Do you want to take it? Okay, then I'll keep it. I have a show to do here, I'm busy. I'm broadcasting here. Oh, stop it. I have not done any of that tonight. Who's on hold on line 2? No, I'm not going to. We're not going to do lottery talk radio. No.
Wild line.
What? Hi, Corey. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, JD?
Where are you calling from, Corey?
Dallas.
Thanks for calling, brother. Thank you very much. You're an African American, so Vicky tells me, and
yeah,
and I'm, I got to say something. I got to say something to you. I want to make sure that you understand. Okay.
Okay.
Today's been a really hard day for me. I've had to deal with a lot of things that I never ever thought I would have to deal with. I never thought that I would ever report that the preeminent federal law enforcement agency in the nation malfunctioned and apparently has abandoned the truth and chosen sides politically. And I never thought that I would ever be in a situation where somebody who was running for president of the United States could ever be even closely, remotely quoted as saying, why don't we just go drone this guy? Talking about Julian Assange. I don't know whether have you been with us? Have you listened to the show this evening? Or did you just join us? Okay.
No.
I'm sorry.
Listening to the part about
but let's go ahead.
Racism question you had asking. I was going to give you a perspective on that.
Please do. Please do. I'm just in a position here tonight where I'm really
all this
hurt.
other stuff I know nothing about you're talking about.
Okay, no problem. Let's go.
Okay. The perspective on the African American part where you're talking about Hillary's pandering.
Yes.
Or whatever. Look, this is the whole deal. Okay? And just hear me out. All right. Yeah, slavery happened. Slavery was wrong. We get that as a people. But the part that resonates, the harshest part with African Americans is this here. Okay, every race that America has ever did something to, whether it be the Indians, the Asians, where they compensated them, they didn't compensate our people. The 40 acres and a mule thing, that was a myth. They General Sherman tried, but the Congress at that time, they shut it down. The whole issue with us is our culture, our language, everything that we had was stripped from us as a people. Okay? And we are trying to recover that as a community now, trying to deal with our own internal issues, as well as deal with the systemic racism that's happened in this country over years, over centuries, even, going back as far as, us first getting here in the 16th century. We're still trying to piece our roots all the way back to Africa. And the thing with the African American Museum that just happened in the last couple of weeks, that's a major milestone for our people. I know the rest of the country probably really don't understand it. And, I know it looks like both parties, like you say, they really don't come see our people until it's time for an election.
Right.
And that's the part that really resonates with us is the issue over the reparations so that we can rebuild. We don't want the money part. We want the part that's been talked about, the debt relief so that we can try and rebuild our communities and everything. I understand that people say the welfare programs and this and that, but that wasn't specifically tailored to us. No one came to our leaders and asked us, hey, what do you need? If you take it.
No, wait a second. Hold on a second. Corey, that is exactly what happened in Detroit over and over and over. That also is exactly what happened in Baltimore over and over and over. Okay, and what ended up happening in let's take Baltimore because it's the most recent example. Hundreds of millions of dollars spent in Baltimore for the exact purpose that you're talking about that goes wasted because of the Black Lives Matter movement and lies told by those guys.
No, what the part you're talking about on that's a whole totally different issue.
No, it's not. It's not
a nationwide thing, man. I'm not talking about just one specific city at a time.
But Corey,
go ahead.
Corey, okay, first of all, the Democrat Party has spent $9.7 trillion. And it has been the Democrat Party because no Republicans voted for any of it. $9.7 trillion. Trillion.
Okay.
It cost us $100 billion to go to the moon and leave flags there.
Okay.
I want you to explain to me how it is that the Democrat Party spent $9.7 trillion and you're coming to me, and this is in the last 8 years, and you're coming to me saying that not enough money has been spent on the Black experience in America.
Okay, because let me tell you something. With the Democrat Party with doing that, they didn't tailor it. There was no bill that came out and said, hey, this is for this community specifically. Okay, with that bill, that was everybody that was lower income classified as a Democrat. That wasn't a bill specifically tailored for African Americans. Okay, there was no apology for slavery. There was no, matter of fact, the last two times that they had that the issue was brought up, and even one issue that was brought up in the UN about an apology, the U.S. representatives walked out of the meeting.
Corey, look, all I can tell you is this, all right?
Okay.
I don't live in a racist country. I don't. I don't live in a country where people don't have an opportunity to do with their lives as they choose.
Right.
If there's going to be equality, then I know plenty of poor white communities. Aiken, South Carolina is a perfect example that could use an awful lot of federal help, but doesn't have any either. You know, there are a lot of places in the world and a lot of places in the country where you just got to do it yourself.
Right. I agree with pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and all this and that. But the issue at hand is there was no dealing with the issue by Congress. There was no special session.
The issue with at hand is me being called a racist every time I turn around. That's what I was.
That's something you're not to blame Hillary for, because no African Americans out there calling white people that. We're looking at the fairness of the
I don't
issue.
know. I'll tell you what. A lot of people that say that they speak for you have said that. The Black Lives Matter movement is the most recent to say it. You know, they say that all of us are racists. I mean, and it hurts. You know, it's like, I mean, I just don't deserve that from you. I don't deserve that from anyone. And I'm tired of, I mean, look, if someone can be, let me give you an example.
Okay.
In your community, police officers put their hands on you and interact with you more than they do in my community. That's true. I have seen that myself. In my community, however, police kill more of us than they do in your community. And that's proven out by FBI statistics. That's just the truth. And the thing about it is that while all of these deaths really, you know, we really need to start focusing on why it is that we can't just live our lives according to the law and just be good to each other. You know, and I understand all that. What bugs the living hell out of me is that politicians are coming to us in our communities on a regular basis and setting ourselves at each other's throats. And that is the biggest problem in America right now. It isn't that you're black and I'm white. It's not that you don't have a legitimate gripe. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying that my gripe is up there too. If you're in a position where you get stopped and you haven't done anything wrong, you are outraged and you have recourse, right? Well, I'm a guy that hasn't done a racist thing in my freaking life, and I keep hearing about how I'm such a racist and how this is a racist country. And I understand that there are plenty of idiots out there. I know that. But not the vast majority. Not the vast majority of white people in America are racist. And I am just pointing out, for the sake of discussion, that for crying out loud, can we please stop painting the largest part of American society as being these seething, rotten, inhuman, just plain barbaric and stupid, all the things that go with the label of being a racist. I'm tired of it.
Look, I understand where you're coming from on that. I do. But like I said before, Congress needs to call a special session that needs to deal with this whole issue of race. And we sit down as a country and get down to the nitty gritty of it. And Congress is refusing to do that. The issue that would be able to fix all of this, and I know I'm going to piss off a lot of people when I say this, but I mean, a lot of Confederate monuments and everything in this country, they need to go away. That part of history, we don't need to be reminded of it on a daily basis.
Corey, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Okay, I hear you. But just a minute here.
Okay.
Just a second here.
But just let me finish my point when you're done.
Okay, sure. We got a couple of minutes here.
Okay.
I'm a white man raised in the South in the 60s. Okay. And I don't see that battle flag as a racist monument to anything. But then again, I don't see a lot of racism. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, and I'm not saying that it's a good thing I don't see a lot of racism. I mean, I see it. I see it all over the place, from a standpoint of typical racist things like David Duke and all those idiots. But here's what I see when I look at that flag. I see an oppressive federal government coming through the South, killing and raping and burning everything. Everything. And it wasn't the black community that they were going after. It was mine. And the thing about it is that I am concerned, like a lot of us are, that this federal government, and 72% of us, by the way, believe that the biggest threat to freedom and liberty in the United States is our current federal government. A lot of us think that government is capable of doing that again. And so when I look at the fact that flag was one of the last things that was standing in Atlanta as it burned to the ground, I see something that doesn't remind me of race. Go ahead.
Okay. We as a people see that flag and a lot of those monuments that are funded by state and local governments, and as a symbol of oppression, we had people that were killed, hung, and lynched under those monuments, under that flag. A lot of people died on that. And I mean, I hate to say it, they committed treason, trying to break up the union of this country that shouldn't be honored by no means, and by no way. I mean, if you look at that, when they did that, I mean, they did the ultimate thing to this country, tried to rip it apart.
No, I understand.
They ripped our families apart, it ripped, not only Black America but white America, because it turned brother against brother.
Rick, listen, Corey, I'm running out of time. I got to go.
All right,
but you have to promise me to call tomorrow some other time so we can continue this.
Sure.
Because I will talk to you about this and I will listen, and I'm interested in hearing what you have to say.
All
right, man. Thanks much. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Dennis Prager believes we're watching the left ruin this country.
University of Michigan sent out a letter to all students and faculty that at the beginning of the year, every student should supply the pronoun that the student wishes to be known by. He or she or Z or what happened. The left has gone mad, my friends. It has gone mad.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis for my foundation company, Abacus Foundation Repair. The cooler temperatures of fall can bring weather changes that can bring changes to the soil around your house. And man, that can mean cracks in the sheetrock doors that are sticking. If you even think you got a foundation problem, please call the right company first. And that's Abacus Foundation Repair, 972-406 will map your house with the skill of an engineer, looking for possible causes. Maybe it's a plumbing issue or something, so the problem doesn't recur. If you don't need a new foundation or any kind of new pilings, they'll tell you. But if you do, you've called the right people. $1,000 off from Abacus, $1,000 off any job of 10 pilings or more. Not just any pilings, Millennium Composite Pilings, the only company that has them for the strongest foundation solution. You will be taken care of. You will be happy. You did call the right company. 972-406-9000. 972-406-9000 or abacusfoundationrepair.com.
Honey, what is that in your CPAP mask?
Oh, that's just my mold collection.
Oh, gross. And what is that?
What, that bacteria colony right there? Yeah, cool, huh?
Okay, CPAP users, admit it. You're not always as careful about cleaning your system as you should be. Unfortunately, a dirty mask and hose can make you sick. Respiratory infections, allergy attacks, and more. But now there's an easy way to protect yourself. SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. It kills 99.9% of CPAP germs in minutes. For a limited time, you can try it risk-free for 30 days. Just call 1-800-700-2152. SoClean is hands-free. Just pop in your mask, close the lid, and presto, your CPAP comes out clean and fresh in minutes. Don't let germs wreak havoc on your health. Call in the next 10 minutes for your risk-free trial. 1-800-700-2152. That's 1-800-700-2152.
This is a life-changing message for anyone with sleep apnea who is on the go and tired of dragging around a big, bulky home CPAP device. MiniCPAP.com now offers a portable device that's as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. For even more freedom, you can add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. It's called the Transcend Mini CPAP, and right now you can try it risk-free for 10 days by calling 1-800-600-7175. Transcend is the world's first portable mini CPAP device. It gives you the freedom to sleep in total comfort anywhere you are. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is so small and so light you can fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. Call minicpap.com now for your 10-day at-home trial. 1-800-600-7175. That's 1-800-600-7175.
The last thing I wanted to inherit from my mom was her varicose and spider veins. Then it happened. Embarrassing, bulgy, naughty-looking legs. Not to mention the pain and swelling. I just couldn't stand it anymore, so I went to Vein Clinics of America.
Vein Clinics of America is the oldest, largest, most experienced vein treatment center in the U.S. And for 35 years, they've been the leading expert in the treatment of vein disease. Using state-of-the-art laser and minimally invasive treatments, they can begin restoring the natural beauty of your legs in as little as an hour with no downtime, and most treatments are covered by your insurance.
My legs look great and feel great. I even love wearing dresses again.
Whether it's a family gathering or office formal, make sure your legs look and feel their best this fall. Call now and schedule a free fast-track consultation to find out how you can finally get rid of those embarrassing varicose and spider veins. Space is limited, so call 800-300-3388. That's 800-300-3388. 800-300-3388.
New York Times bestselling author Edward Klein has done it again.
My new book, Guilty as Sin, uncovers the real story behind Hillary Clinton's email scandals and how she's stayed one step ahead of the law, at least for now. For the real story on what the FBI found on Clinton's email server and what tricks Bill and Hillary have up their sleeve next, read Guilty as Sin.
Guilty as Sin by Edward Klein. Available October 4th at Amazon and bookstores everywhere.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is Jon-David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Perhaps the saddest thing that I can report to you tonight is that members of the Students Outdoor Club at Claremont College have decided to cancel the annual Speedo hike. It is a tradition trek up nearby Mount Baldy in which students typically wear Speedos and bikinis because college students like to do sexy things or whatever. The hike is not going to happen this year because the students are worried that the event is not inclusive enough and might be offensive to overweight and fitness-challenged individuals. They're also concerned the Speedo hike might be a little too bro-centric. I really don't know what that means, but I'm thinking that banana hammock is a pair of words that could be used in this context. The Outdoor Club, officially named On the Loose, announced its decision on its Facebook page, writing that the group wanted to be more open and inclusive. I can only say this, that anyone, regardless of whether they're fitness challenged or overweight, can wear Speedos and bikinis. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is Jon-David Wells. God bless you. See you again tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644.
Message and data rates may apply.
When did American men get so soft? Today's average red-blooded American man has less testosterone than his father, and his father has less testosterone than his father. Before we turn into a country of powder puffs, Force Factor is launching the Man Up America event. We want to send every man in America a complimentary bottle of the breakout supplement taking GNC by storm. Test X 180 Ignite, loaded with free testosterone-boosting manliness. Get your complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321. Test X 180 Ignite raises levels of free testosterone in your body to help build lean muscle during workouts. Plus, it helps incinerate fat, fuel explosive sexual desire, and improve performance. Now you can continue to feel like the real men that made this country great. Do yourself a favor. Do America a favor. Text MAN to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle. That's a complimentary bottle by texting MAN to 321-321.
Based on actual cases, results may vary, not a solicitation for legal services. Have you received a letter or personal visit from the IRS? Has the IRS garnished your paycheck or seized your bank account? If so, you need to take action now. Wall & Associates is the most powerful tax resolution firm in the world. We develop trust with our free face-to-face consultation. Call 1-800-983-3313 to get immediate help. Wall & Associates can help you. 1-800-983-3313 or visit us at wallandassociates.net.
660 AM The Answer. KSKY Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. The official radio station of Decision 2016. The most important election of our lifetime.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Donald Trump is acknowledging he has legally used the nation's complex tax laws to his benefit. Speaking at a rally in Colorado, Trump says he brilliantly used those laws to pay as little taxes legally possible during turbulent economic times.
Fortunately, I understand it.
Rival Hillary Clinton calling Trump the poster boy for a rigged U.S. tax system.
Hurricane Matthew currently packing winds of 145 miles per hour, dumping torrential rain on parts of Haiti.
You're looking at up to 25 inches in southern portions, and then the higher elevations in the southwestern portion of Haiti, probably up to 40 inches.
Meteorologist Dave Roberts with the National Hurricane Center. Kim Kardashian West back in New York City after being robbed of $10 million in jewelry while staying in Paris. The reality TV star was not harmed. Fox News. We report, you decide.
You're listening to 660 AM, The Answer. Hugh Hewitt sees why Ted Cruz endorsed Donald Trump.
Trump has all the right enemies. He does have all the right enemies. Donald Trump has surged ahead in the Bloomberg poll nationally. In the CNN ORC polls, it's astonishing, actually. And it explains in large degree what happened with Ted Cruz. He sees that it's real, and he endorsed